the last event that she did, so we literally have just been friends via social media. So I'm stoked to be here tonight. Let me go ahead and set the scene for you ladies, okay? Let me get my chaperone tag. The year is 2018. It's Christmas Eve, and I am in a hustle to get my shopping list done. I find myself at a Dick's Sporting Goods at 9:30 a.m. waiting in line to buy a Hydro Flask. Now while I'm waiting in this line, I observe the cashier, this cute girl behind the register checking people out, and she was wearing a Christmas sweater that, get this, turned into a Christmas fanny pack. Mind blown, okay? I thought it was amazing. But then she kind of moved her body around and moved it and just kind of changed positions, and I realized it was all a rouge. It was in my brain. The sweater was just kind of bulky, and just the way she was standing, and it had a flamenco, and I thought the leg was a zipper, and it was just a hot mess. It didn't exist. But when I got up to check out, I was like, yo, I thought that Christmas sweater legit turned into a fanny pack, not picking up what you're putting down. And she said, that would be so awesome. I'm like, I know, right? She said, I've been meaning to get myself a fanny pack. And I said, well, what you gotta do is have a bunch of kids. And when I said that, I formed some C shapes and I took them down south. And I grabbed my fupa and I started shaking my fupa like a lot. You see, I got me a mean fupa, okay? And in a specific pair of high-waisted jeans that I was wearing, said fupa is out and about, okay? And I think my fupa is the same shape as a fanny pack. So I'm sitting here aggressively shaking my fupa at total strangers. The girl behind the register and the two guys in line behind me. I wanted to include them, so I had turned my body so that they could join in on the fun. And while I'm shaking it, I'm laughing and saying things like, do you get it? For life, man, for life. I even made eye contact with the guy behind me. That was a mistake. He was younger than me, he worked out, he was not ugly. And the look on his face was like confusion. I have throw up in my body. So at last, I stopped shaking, I released the fupa, I finished my transactions, and I just said, anyway, Merry Christmas. And I left. It was about halfway into the parking lot where I had to stop, and my brain said, let's hang on. Did that really just happen? Did you do that, Kristen? Let me check. Fupa's forward. Yeah, yep, that sure did happen. Okay. And I just say, you kook! And I get in my car and I drive away. What is the point of this story? I clearly have insecurities. If you thought I was going to say mental problems, you're probably right, but I'm going to focus on the insecurities. Okay? Right now at this season of my life, I'm soups insecure about my fupa. Okay? I think it's the first thing that people see when they look at me. So I think if I call attention to it or I talk about it, then they can't. Has anyone ever done that? Yes. Right? And by that, I don't mean shake your fupa at strangers. I just mean call attention to something you feel insecure about because you think it's the first thing people see. Okay? We've all done it, right? Right. I feel I need more participation. Woo! Woo! But sometimes, not always, but sometimes, I let that insecurity affect my feeling and make me feel less. It totally messes with my value of self-worth. I have a fupa, therefore I am garbage. Shouldn't be that way. It should be I have a fupa, therefore I got a fupa. So I just want to talk a little bit tonight and just remind you ladies that you are worth it. That we all have value, and no matter how many things we think we hate about ourselves, no one else is looking at those things. So in preparation of this talk, last month I kind of did some experiments. I'm not an expert, I haven't written any books, I'm just a lady who does stuff, and I just thought I could come up with some things to help you. So last month I took one thing a week that I don't like about myself, And I just tried to let it go. If it happened, I would bring attention to it, not necessarily something about my body, but just something I always gave myself a really hard time with. This is what it was. When I am out and about, I'm in shopping at the store, I'm driving, I'm in the zone, and we've all had it where we're in Costco and like you turn the corner and like here's your cart, and then there's their cart and you're, and like someone's gotta go. Without fail, duck, I do the duck, and I go, sorry, and my voice jumps. Or I'm at Target, like, here, you finding everything you need today? Thank you. And my voice jumps into, hi, thanks, hi. And what? And I don't understand why I do it. And it drives me crazy. I walk away, I'm like, oh, jeez, Kristen. like the person I just passed is like, what a douchebag. You know? And I'm not thinking that, but that's exactly how I feel. So I really tried hard to call attention to it and just let it go. I ain't gonna see those strangers anymore. I don't need to worry about them. I don't need to let that worry my life. But I even found myself trying to like overcompensate, and I like jumped a full octave. Like, hey, you finding everything you need? I'm great, thank you for asking. I need it lower. I don't know what my problem is. Another thing that I tried to focus on, I have a certain relationship with my pants. The higher the better, okay? I've reached a phase in my life where it needs to be above my belly button or I'm not leaving the house, okay? I can be sitting down to standing up or standing up to sitting down, getting out of the car, from a booth, from a restaurant. Before I take a step, I'm going to situate, okay? I'm going to do this, I'm going to bend, I'm going to grab my belt loops, and I'm going to pull. I always pull my pants up because I can't move until I'm comfortable. And it's not because I'm so skinny and all my pants are too big. It's like this got pushed down here and this is up there and like there's a line and now my stomach looks like a B instead of a C and whatever. So I tried really hard to pay attention to that and just let it go. And this is what I realized. Everybody does it. I feel like most moms do it, okay? I'll put that in that kind. Most moms at Target do it, okay? That I reserve. Just a quick little adjust, a pull, do what you gotta do, move on with your day. It doesn't bother me when I see someone else do it, so I shouldn't let it bother me when I do it. So that's a tip. Maybe try to pull yourself out of it, let it go. It's not a big deal. Another thing you can do, be a cheerleader, girls. Cheer for your friends, we already do that. Be a cheerleader to a stranger. Girls, cheer for yourself. Woo! Crying out loud, okay? The choices I've made in my life have required me to go through a lot of drive-thrus, okay? I don't like to cook. I'm an emotional eater. I think about dinner at 5:15 p.m. every night. That's how I roll. So I talk to a lot of people in drive-thrus, okay? I'm in a lot of different walks of life. And I always try to, whenever I have the prompting, compliment the person at the drive-thru. Usually it's like a high school kid, girl. If they're nice to me, I'll be nice to them. And I don't do it always. It's not a mandatory thing. I don't try to get free food, even though it's happened. But I want them to know that I appreciate the effort that they've put into themselves. What I try not to say is, hey, I like your bracelet. Oh, thanks. What do you say when someone says, I like? You say, oh, thanks. I try to go outside my box. These are the words I use. Giving me feelings. Okay? I'm at the window, we pay, handing my food. I just gotta tell you that eyeliner, give me feelings. Okay? Guaranteed she's gonna laugh or smile. Okay? Maybe a little confused. I've had that happen. Okay? Another thing I say, I said it to the clerk at Dick's. Picking up what you're putting down, okay? When I see it, I'm like, those beach waves, I'm picking them up, okay? I'm picking them up, you put them down, I picked them up. Something like that. We're killing the game, like you are killing that name game, or that nail game today, or you are slaying that life. I just try to make it fun. And it always makes people laugh, always brings attention, because you know that girl that morning putting on her liner is like, right when she messes up, she has to redo it. And then this one's perfect, and you're like, I gotta do it on this eye now. Like, I know the effort that it takes, so I'm just trying to tell you I appreciate you. And hopefully that gives her a little bit more oomph. I'm out of breath. Be a cheerleader for yourself. This is not something that I'm good at. I am not the first person to back my corner. If we put a loudspeaker to my inner thoughts right now, I would probably be institutionalized. I'm not kind to myself often. I am super confident in this type of arena. Dressing like this does not faze me. I leave the house and not a single one of my children even said, "Why are you wearing that?" Hey, where are you going? Because it's such predictable behavior for their mother that they don't know anything else. So I'm going to try harder to show it for myself. There are a few times that I have definitely been my own cheerleader, but I find it's always when I'm sitting in my car and I've just pulled into the garage and I realize I have to get from this seat to the bathroom without peeing my pants. And then my brain's like, okay, girl, we got this. All right. And I think, okay, baby in the back seat, sleeping, diaper bags, 6 grocery bags. Okay, I could probably just run in the house and go pee, or I could just do it all at one time. It'd probably be easy to go pee, but 2 trips is for pussies, so I'm just gonna try this. Okay. So I'm gonna grab the baby, and you guys, maybe after 2 children, like the little maybe that would work. People, I've had 5 humans come out of this fun bun, okay? That is not an option for me anymore. So I have to lock this gate and not open it anymore until I am around where I need to be. So I have baby, I have diaper bag. It's a slow and halfway there I'm like, I should have locked the baby, I gotta make it. And then I kick the garage door open, but my brain, you guys, is like, yes, you do this, you got this. Stop, okay, no, breathe. It's okay, don't quit, wait, stop, don't go, stop. Okay, it's good, okay, baby's down, diaper's back, all the bags are down, okay. Oh no, the toilet seat's down, oh my gosh. Okay, get that seat up, and my brain is like, don't you quit, you're not a quitter! And I have to do this, and I'm just gonna try to do one sweep. The worst is when you get your jeans, but not your underwear, so you gotta get them both. Get them both, and I sit down, and it's the most magical thing ever in the world. I want to cheer myself on like that with everything. I need a break. I want to stop drinking soda. I want my brain to say, yes, you can do it. You can do it. Yay, hooray. But instead I'm like, that's gay. Like, soda's the best. Like, who cares? Drink and be merry, whatever. I'm 4 days sober from Dr. Pepper. That's why I said that. Cheer for yourself. Be your own best friend. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes things happen to us. Not sometimes, things always happen to us. There's not a single person in this room that hasn't had a story that can make us all cry right now. There's not a single person that's exempt to some type of tragedy or adversity, and a lot of that times we let it affect us. Oh, I gotta breathe. So, my mom died when I was 12. She passed away from cancer. I just turned 12. Literally, it was just a few days after I turned 12. And there was a lot of things that happened, a lot of things I was feeling. Yes, of course, I didn't understand. Yes, of course, I was angry. But that first real feeling that I could recognize that manifested itself was, well, it must be my fault. Well, obviously, it must be something because I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to have a mom like everybody else. And those were feelings that stuck with me for a long time. I didn't necessarily recognize it then, but at the same time, there was no one in my brain telling me that wasn't true. What was my brain saying? Yep, you're right. You're not worth it. Don't even bother. Yep, water break. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I've learned in my life stand up for yourself. That at some point you have to say, I am who I am. I'm here for a reason. I'm meant to be here. The odds of you being born, being alive, I read a study on this, 1 in 4 trillion. The odds of you being born, to the people you were born to, the time and the place that you were born, is out of control. So clearly, you're here for a reason. Clearly, you have value and you have worth. I have, my oldest daughter is 12 years old, Staley. She has autism. She doesn't give a fuck what people think of her. She is 12 and a half now. She's kind of going through puberty. Things are growing. Things are smelling. It's a bit of a hot mess for us right now. She has this long, beautiful hair that she does not know how to wash. We've tried. She doesn't get it. She can't see the bubbles. She can shower herself, but right now in this life, that's my job, is washing her hair. It's so much work. And she sleeps completely covered in a blanket. So when she wakes up, she's like, good morning. And it's like sweat, drenched hair. So I'll always say every night, like, oh, you're good. I don't want to wash it. Like, it's so much work. And then the next morning, as I'm combing this hair back, and it looks soaking wet because it's so greasy, and her face is greasy, and I'm noticing her getting a little breakout around her nose, and I'm just like, oh, I'm like, you look like a hot mess. And at the exact same time that I am saying that, she will look in the mirror and say, I look magnificent. That's her word this month, is magnificent. Everything is magnificent. And it just showed me she doesn't care. The grease hair does not have anything to do with who she is or what she's about or what she can do. We are all women. We all know how to be better about multitasking and like living life. I'm sorry, ain't no man gonna multitask better than a female, right? Woo! Husband gets sick, basically dead. We get sick, well, it's Tuesday. Get on with your life, okay? We have the power within us, so let's support it. Let's love it. Let's bring it to being. At the end of the day, hang on, I got this real quick. This is what I got. I got me $1 bill. How much is this worth? $1. $1. Okay, cool. It's pretty crispy. It's pretty clean. I tried to find like a nice looking one. So I'm going to go